Okay, class, let's go to part two. Part two is going to be some text work and how we can make it hopefully look something like this. Now, it won't be exactly Photoshop. We can get pretty tight into this stuff. And the Pixlr, it's not quite the same, but not too bad though. So, first things first, you need to find the right font for the job, right? One of the things that make, there's a couple things that make these professional magazine covers look so amazing. Number one, incredible photography. The lighting is fantastic. There's no blurriness. Not everything's dark. That's a huge part of it. The other part is that their typography, and typography is how the text interacts with the rest of the graphics, whether it be the gradient background of the photograph or all the other different types of text, how they work together and how their size, their shape, and their color and the feel and look of them all work together. So this has really good typography, that's for sure. So, but what we need to do is we need to find some fonts that work on here, that work for this. Now, in that magazine project folder that I gave you two fonts. I gave you this one right here called a Scribble and one called Babus. And so what you're going to do is you're going to download each one of those fonts, and we can actually install them to work inside of our project. So if I go here, and I go to my type tool and I go add text, I'm just going to start with the Esquire word at the top there. When I go to this part right here, see where it says add local font? I can click on that, go to my downloads where I just did that font. So I'll do it again. I already did it once, obviously. So I'll click on open and it installs that font on here. So if I go to my text, there it is right there. Now it's way too big right now. So I'm going to scale this back a bunch. Okay. And this text right here is supposed to say Esquire. So capital E, my caps lock off, Squire. Okay. I'm going to take this and that's good right there. If I was to take this and move it and place it up here and resize it, you can see like if this, I always like to kind of work over the top of what I'm trying to recreate. That text you can see is a little bit, so I got to edit this text here. It's not quite big enough. So I'm going to go to my size right here and I'm going to turn that and make it so it's bigger. There we go. So somewhere around 150-ish. That looks like a good size. The color is obviously wrong. So I'm going to click on my little color icon right there. And my color picker comes up. And so all I need to do now, just like we did before, is go over here. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. And I'm just going to sample that because I want it to fill with that white color. There it did. It went there. Okay. Then I want that gold outline on there too. So let me click OK here. And if I go over here to settings, I can turn that down. That's line spacing, letter spacing, alignment. We'll come back to that. We come over here to styles, however, and we can get outline. So if I turn the outline on, it gave me the outline. You can see it now. Now I just click on the little color swatch, back to my color picker, and I'm going to pick that color right in the middle like that. Select it, click OK. And now because I had my color picker on, it's about precisely there. It's about perfect. Okay. So now that I've got that text in there, it doesn't quite look exactly the same like I want it to. So what you can do though is you can free transform some things. Before you can free transform text though, you have to rasterize it. So if you will right click anywhere inside of this, choose rasterize text, then go over to edit and free transform, or you press Control R if you wanted to. Your border kind of changes here. Watch what I can do now. Now I can keep it in place, but now I can squish it like this, make it like that. I can make this a little bit taller so I can really make it fit precisely over the top. Now the lettering is a little bit different. It's not perfect, right? But it's your job to find something that looks really, really close to what we're looking for. Once I've got that and I feel like that's a pretty good match, I can click and drag and move it over and put it onto my document here like that. Press enter, and it is on the page, good to go, just like that. So if you click off of there, you can see it's off just a slight little bit. So I just used the arrow key and I moved it over. It's just like that. Okay. So there's that first layer of text that says Esquire. And I like how it changes it over here too, to show you that it says Esquire right there. And that's a text layer. Okay. So now Can't stand it when I do that. So now we're going to go ahead and let's go to our type tool right here. And we'll go add text again. We're going to do this big one down here across the back that says Downey, except I want you to use your name. So we need 4 to 7 letters. So it could be your first name, your last name. If you have too many letters, it might look a little funny. If you don't have enough, it looks a little bit funny too. If it doesn't work out, then put like the first 6 letters of your last name or whatever. We need 4 to 6 letters. So mine happens to work out perfectly. So it's Zarate. So however it plays out for you, 4 to 6 letters would be great. 6 ideally. So I'm going to click on add text. And this time I want it to say all caps. I want it to say Zarate. But the font that we're going to use this time is not that Esquire one that we uploaded. We actually opened it up, we loaded up a second one, and it was called Babis. So I'll click on that. I'm going to click on my color icon, and I want to sample anywhere inside of any of these colors. So I'll sample off this O right there. So now it's the right color. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to move it over here. And obviously I need a larger font. So I'll put this like that. And now I'm going to go to my font size and I'm going to turn that up because I want it to be the same width as the sample. So it goes all the way to the edge. So that's pretty solid. So I'll take that and I'm just going to kind of move it up so I can see how it's laying out there. So my text is still smaller. It's not as tall. So when I want to make the text taller, I've got the right letters in there. I've got the right color. I want to rasterize this. So I'm going to right click it, rasterize it, go up to edit, free transform. And now I should be able to take this and extend this out. Now, as it extends it out, it makes it a little bit shorter on the bottom end. So I'm just going to take that and move that down. Good. So now if I was to take this, click and drag and move it over sideways, take a look at that. Pretty dang good. Press return, puts it in there, and that takes care of that text. So that text is that's all it is. It's a matter of putting it in place where you want it to get the right font. The right font makes all the difference in the world. And then recoloring it, sampling, and all those different things like that, and then putting it onto your document. Okay, so that is your first foray into lettering, doing this stuff. And so now I am going to stop. All right, that was part 2. Part 3 coming soon.